Hey everyone, welcome to Shifty's Club. Today I'm going to talk about the past world championships. Well, video game players, for the first time in history, we have a two-time world champion. But even better than that, we have the only time this has ever happened, a back-to-back world champion. 2010 and 2011 video game Master Division World Champion. Well, let me rephrase that. It's seniors last year, but in this year's Master, but who cares? Two-time world champion Ray Rizzo. Congratulations to him. And while I'm on the subject, this being a kind of a rogue talk in a way, I thought I'd go ahead and share with you guys that he used, I think it's Gothitelle and not sure what the other one was. I thought I could remember, but I really can't. But anyway, if you see any of his videos, it's crazy. The guy's just got so much skill. I mean, he's just meant for the video game championship. So, and also another note, I won't go into the junior and senior because they're just little kids and they don't really know too much what they're doing. They just try to pick up and play powerful monsters, but not trying to say that those players that are watching that are in the junior and senior division, I'm not saying you're bad or you're inexperienced. I'm just using it as a general concept. You look up to the older players to find out what to do, which being true. And but skip on that. You want to hear about the world championships, and we also got a very unsurprising first place winner for the Master Division, David Cohen. I think it was a Reshi board deck, and in the senior division was the Reshi Flosion. And some kid from Brazil in the junior division was using Yamega Magnetism of Kingdra. But we're going to use this particular episode to say we have a new hero. Give it up for Ross Coffin. He is the king of Pokemon as far as the HGSSon format goes. He is awesome. I've never met the guy before in my life, but oh my god. First time I see him, yeah, my ass was autographed and everything, but hopefully he watches this episode. I'm pretty much caught on to what his deck was. As soon as I seen the list, I thought, I know what it does. I could run it. I can understand how they came up with the deck. Like most people really couldn't. I mean, you put a deck in front of me, I can tell you whether it does well or not, or if it does well, how it does well. And it's really crazy because, if I'm not badly wrong, I think I've seen a 3-2-2 Vileplume. Of course, I denote it as a 2-2-3. I start with higher levels first, didn't go to the basics, so he's the 2-2-3 Vileplume, and I think it's the same thing for you. Reuniclus, I think it was a 2-2 Donphan and a 1-1 Blissey Prime. Like 3 Cleffa, I think. Don't judge me on that if I'm right or wrong. I think a Zekrom or 2, maybe 3, and a Jirachi or something. I kind of blew my mind again. But I think what's the most amazing thing is he used, I think it was Raikou Suicune Legend, if I'm not badly wrong. Which, that was basically, I can understand right there why basically Reuniclus wanted to use something like that, because not only does he have a water, probably uses double calls, probably just takes a water energy and whatever he needs, attaches it, does 50, gets rid of 50. That's how he'll get rid of his damage. Donphan will stall for time. Blissey Prime, of course, gets all the damage counters off with just like one hit. And it's, how can I say, just basically a really good strategy. I would have never thought, and yes, I'm going to admit it, I would have never thought to use something like that. But the real kicker is that I believe his deck succeeded because of Tropical Beach. If I think that's what it was called. Tropical Beach is supposed to be a stadium card, and the stadium card is supposed to let you draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand, then you in your turn. But this is for each player because it's a stadium card. And stadium cards, of course, take effect for both players. They can't side with one particular player because they're stadium cards. And that's basically it for Ross. I mean, he's the man. He's the king. He's my new hero. He's going on my wall of heroes with the other 12 and a half. Hopefully I get his picture. So I can post it like I get everyone else's picture. I still got like 3 guys that get to get their pictures, but don't call me crazy because the only reason I do that is just so I can, remember what they done for me to help me out through the game. Ross showed me that, yeah, it is possible to go 2 rogue and still win. I mean, I understand like stuff I ran back in like 2008. I had a Typhlosion from the Dragon Frontiers with the Crystal Guardians Charizard, and bad thing is I had all the fire type basing stage 1s, so I could just run fire the entire way, but I'd usually set them up as I got a Snorlax stalling with a Crystal Beach, and basically setting up Claydol Satu, but that's a whole different story. I think the best deck I've seen so far was Ross's. Of course, you didn't have to have too much luck to play a deck like that. You just had to be able to get around the trainer lock, and I think 2 or 3 people might have succeeded in that. David Cohen, I know Reshiebor, he's probably like the only Reshiebor player, and I know for a fact that Vileplume will auto-loss to a Reshiebor, so he probably got to the Oddish Gloom pretty quick, but I don't know. I just because that's basically the only way he can win. I mean, of course he had a really good chance running Reshiebor, but if it is Reshiebor, it might be Reshieblosion, so don't judge me on that again. But yeah, that's about it. As far as coming into this season, it's going to be really tough, and we're all going to have to basically not use the World Championship decks as a modifier for this coming up season, because I'm telling you right now that there's no way in heck that Reshiram decks are going to kick butt because of Pokemon Catcher. Your Typhlosion goes away, your Emboar goes away, everything goes away in sticks. So what will we probably use this format? I've got a deck in mind, and you might not think it's great, but heck, it's defense against Catcher. The deck is Yamega Selgor. Now Selgor won't be around until the next set, if I'm not badly wrong. Both Yamega and Selgor have free retreat, and Yamega has no energy cost for either Snipe 40 or Hit 70. A Selgor does, I think, is it Hit 20 or Snipe 20? I forget. And it does, for 1 grass, it does 60 up front, and I don't think it can use the attack next turn. It might not be able to attack at all, but I think it's just that attack. Which makes the free retreat useful, because then you can just free retreat to another Selgor, use the attack all over again. Now, this makes too much sense, because whenever you can't match hands with Yamega, you always have another option. So this deck will probably be the deck in our upcoming format. Now, I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm probably going to say that Gothitelle will be overhyped at the Battle Roads. Everybody's going to try to use it to clinch the Catcher, and then they notice that their Gothita's getting 1-hit shot like right away by all these Zekrom variants trying to set up very early a Reshiram. But I'm going to tell you right now, by the time Nationals comes for sure, maybe States or Regionals, those decks will be out of place. Maybe a few players might be able to squeeze it by, but when you got Catcher in a format with Typhlosion and Reshiram, it will not have any effect. It's just going to overlap, and it's basically going to be that particular deck. I've got two more I'll talk about later. Should be an episode up today. So enough about the trading card game. Let's take it to the video game. For you players coming up the season, we noticed that the Terrakion Whimsicott combo hasn't been too popular, and no, I didn't go online and look that up. I actually thought of that myself, and I thought, I wonder if anyone else knows about it. And then when I got to the championship, everybody's like, oh my god, this combo's amazing. And I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't make it up. And so, I mean, if you don't know what the combo is, it's Whimsicott, basically timid nature, and maxed in its speed stat. Same thing for Terrakion, except instead of high speed, low attack, it'll be high speed, special attack, low special attack, and I want to say that that's a jolly nature, but I'm not exactly sure. It might be naive. I can't remember. But enough of that. That combo will be particularly effective next year if they decide to. Before I say that, Pokemon Company is actually thinking about letting us use Pokemon besides just the Unova Dex. And also before that, they're thinking about doing regional championships in the later this year and early next year, both. Like October, November, and April, May, around those areas, which I think is a pretty cool strategy, but not really. When you look into this coming up season, I really expect the Jellicent to be a lot more prompt if they do bring this back, because I mean, to be honest, you're going to have a lot of slacking Starmie combos where you skill swap as fast as you can and get slacking moving, so you're attacking every turn. I mean, that's a really great combo, but and other than that, that's all I can really think of. I guess that's it I got for this episode. Next episode, which I can't promise this one because I'm about to do it like as soon as I get done with this one, I want to talk about this really cool card that's seemingly broken and no one really understands because no one pays attention to the card. So I'm going to talk about the next episode next time at Shifty's Club.